Okay, we're going to begin in just a minute. I just want to announce to folks that there are agendas up here on the corner, but that we are tabling one item from the agenda. We had previously a resolution authorizing the issuance of serial bonds for the Tivoli Firehouse expansion project. We are not going to consider that this evening, so that will be coming off the agenda. We need some more information on the cost implications for the village before we can authorize those. We are still very committed to this firehouse project, but we just want to make sure that we roll this out properly with full public engagement and information and with all the facts in hand. So sometimes, because we have to notice these agendas 24 hours early, put something on there, but hoping everything will fall into place for Wednesday night, but sometimes it doesn't. So with that little prologue, I hereby call to order the January 15th, 2025 meeting of the Village of Tivoli Board of Trustees. Would you please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Clerk Bruno is out this evening. We will have a clerk's report next month. And I want to thank Deputy Clerk Bonnie Day for filling in tonight. We will move into the minutes. Trustees, we have the December 18th regular board meeting minutes in your binders. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? And is there a second?
Second.
Okay, that was Baldino followed by Mangieri. All in favor?
Aye.
Bonnie, if at any point I'm moving too fast, I'm gonna try to slow, you just give me the hot sign. Okay. Moving on to the treasurer's report. Of course, Bonnie Day is also our fabulous treasurer. So you're never here for us to say thank you when we do these, but we do. Is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
That was Major. Is there a second?
Second.
Schilling. Any discussion? Thank you, Treasurer, for always doing these.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
That was moved by Trustee Mangieri. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Baldino. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to a zoning report. Trustee Schilling, I believe we have a zoning report in here.
Okay, building permits reviewed 9, building permits issued 2, complaints investigated 2, zoning property maintenance violations 0, appearance tickets 0, municipal searches 3, inspections 7.
Thank you, Bill.
That's the report.
I happen to know from having spoken to our code enforcement officer and building inspector today that we've issued our first short-term rental permit. Permit number 1 is in the hands of the applicant. Folks should remember the terms of our law, but we have room for 14 more under our 15 cap, so plenty of room and so far. Okay, moving on to, well first, excuse me, is there any public comment on the agenda items before we move into that?
No.
Okay. All right, first item we have is a letter of support. Trustees, did that show up in your binders? I tried to stick it in the last minute. Everyone see that? Okay. We'll move in second, and then maybe you want to tell us a little more about it.
Sure.
Is there a motion to approve this letter of support on behalf of PS21 for a New York State Council on the Arts grant?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that was Mangieri, seconded by Baldino. And Deputy Mayor, want to tell us a little bit about this
Yes.
letter of support?
I certainly would. So PS21 up in Chatham, they're a performing arts center, and they often do events out in the local communities. And this summer they brought us a free circus, which was performed in the park. It was really fun. It was a bunch of wacky Canadians who performed acrobatics on a food truck, and we ended up with like 500 people in the park seeing this. It was great. So the thing is, they're just sort of getting into doing performances out, off of their property. So they have put in a grant to the New York State Council on the Arts for professional quality audio infrastructure, so they can take their show on the road and sound better while doing it. So they had asked for a letter of support, and it seemed like kind of a no-brainer, and
it doesn't cost us anything.
it cost
To be
us nothing.
supportive, right?
So
Yeah.
here we are, and you know, I look forward to them bringing more fun events to Tivoli, fun, free events.
Great. Okay, well with that, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Let's have a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Okay, next we have a resolution authorizing maintenance, a maintenance agreement with Gentech Ltd. For the Village Hall generator. As I told folks last month, Village Hall now has a generator installed and operating. And this would be for the same firm that installed it to maintain it once a year. Seems like a good investment, protect our investment. So is there a motion to authorize the maintenance agreement with Gentech? Okay, moved by the Deputy Mayor, and a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mangieri. I know Trustee Baldino, you thought this was a good idea?
I think it's a great idea. They were very expensive to fix.
Okay. So, with that, we'll do a roll call, please. Deputy Mayor Major.
Aye.
Trustee Baldino.
Aye.
Trustee Schilling.
Aye.
Trustee Mangieri.
Aye.
And I also vote aye.
Excellent. It's comforting to go by at night and see a green light there.
Yeah. Okay, next we have a resolution authorizing a financial services agreement with Fiscal Advisors and Marketing, Inc. This is an entity that the village can go to when we need to borrow money, and they are out in the lending world, and they essentially will hold a bid, an auction for your borrowing. So this is a way that we can get access to the most lenders, and that they can be competing to give us the best rate and terms. So I've had one meeting with them. This gentleman seemed extremely capable and useful. So with that, is there a motion to authorize this services agreement with Fiscal Advisors and Marketing, Inc.?
I'll move.
That was Baldino. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Schilling on the second. Roll call, please. Deputy Mayor Major.
Aye.
Trustee Baldino.
Aye.
Trustee Schilling.
Aye.
Trustee Mangieri.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. Okay, thank you. Our next board meeting will be held Wednesday, February 19th at 7 p.m., preceded by a workshop at 6 p.m. here at the historic Watts-de-Peyster Hall. And we have our regular workshop on February 12th at 6 o'clock. Moving into committee reports, Trustee Schilling, you have anything?
No, nothing really today.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Baldino?
So this month, our total money collected and remitted to the state comptroller from the village court, we have $1,410 in fines, $100 in surcharges, 0 for civil fees, for a total of $1,510.
Thank you.
Amazing how many no overnight parking tickets.
A lot.
Yes, Red FPD has been in here and doing a good job. They got a lot of folks.
I know, including me.
Including the guy I left my other car to.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, I'll remind folks, the winter parking ordinance is in effect until April 1st, April Fool's Day. So we have a few more months to go. I think probably thanks to the ticketing, I mean, a few times we've had to be out salting and sanding. The road's been pretty clear of parked vehicles, and the DPW really appreciates that. It's something we can do for them. Trustee Mangieri, please.
The Redwood Police Department reported for the month of December that there were 24 incidents and there was 5 uniform traffic tickets issued, no parking tickets, and 0 arrests.
That's good. If there are all those parking tickets in November, then
Yeah.
people got the message and then December was all right.
Right.
Okay, thank you. A few things I want to mention. It has been cold. I'm sure that's no surprise to anyone, but the nice side of that is that Tivoli has had our ice rink up for over a week now, and we're getting a lot of use out of it. We're actually getting more use out of it than we got in the last 2 years combined, which were pretty warm. And again, we have to give a big thanks to Matthew Krajewski who is last year's Victory Award winner for doing this last year, for setting up the rink. And I also want to thank the Department of Public Works for assisting with the water and moving the rink components up to the site when Matt was ready to do his installation. So looks like it's going to be cold. I also am pleased that the community seems to have respected the open-closed sign and stayed off the ice when it's not usable and gotten back on when it's cold enough. So appreciate that. In our workshop in the last hour, the board was visited by the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority. They came in to give us a little update on the collection system improvements that are coming, and coming out of that meeting, we and they have scheduled a public forum on the collection system improvements. I'll be putting out an email tomorrow, but I can tell you now that it's going to be on Thursday, the 23rd, so this is only a week from tomorrow, at 6 p.m. It'll be up on the 3rd floor. And to remind folks who've been following the sewer project, you've got the sewer plant, which is being replaced in its entirety, and then you have all the pipes and the pump station over there, which pushes the material where there isn't gravity. So that's the collection system, and you know, our sewer plant was shot, and our collection system needs a lot of work. So they're going to come in and tell you about, they've got some contracts in place now, they've got some real numbers, and they're going to talk about the scope, and it'll just be a chance for them to come back to the village and answer any questions you have about anything related to your sewer primarily, but while they're there, ask them about the water if you want to know something. They're very generous with their time and happy to come here. And the sewer plant, you may not have seen a lot of activity, but there has been work going on. There's actually sort of a choke point in the workflow. We used to have, I'm going to get way too deep into the stuff here. We used to have reed beds that would treat the sludge. Our new system is going to have a different technology, and the reed beds are going away. There needs to be a temporary sludge holding tank, which eventually the trucks will come and remove the sludge. And that tank is being worked on right now. And the rest of the project is sort of waiting until that tank gets finished so that they can start emptying the sludge out of the reed beds and making space for the new sewer plant. So I know folks haven't seen a lot of trucks. It is slightly behind schedule, but it's anticipated that there'll be some catch up. We're going to talk about putting in a second access road so people can sort of attack the project from two sides. So for that and more, come on Thursday the 23rd at 6 o'clock. And the last piece of that, there's a cross-country sewer main that, what did she say, it takes all but 30 houses for the village, I think she said? Yeah. So almost all of our stuff goes through this one pipe that runs parallel to the creek from about the bridge down to the sewer plant. It's in the woods, and there are lots of trees and roots. There's been an easement there since 1938 when the sewer plant went in. Trees have grown up in it. The Water Authority has a contractor that's going to come in and do tree clearing. Fortunately, most of the trees are small, and they're going to clear. You don't want trees growing on top of your water main. They're going to chip everything up, leave it there in place, and then there'll be an annual sort of brush hogging arrangement so that we don't get trees in the future. So the Water Authority is going to take the appropriate care of that important easement and the pipe that runs along there. So that tree work is going to start very soon. It's actually only about 8 or 9 property owners there along the stream, but we'll be talking about that on Thursday as well. Other things from the board before I turn it to the public?
I got 2 things.
I skipped right over you.
You did. It's like, anyways.
Got to do it once, I only got a few more times.
I show up for a meeting. And
Yeah,
this
there
is
you
what
go.
do. Anyway, well, more
Gotta
about
save
for the skating. If you don't have skates, come on in. We've got loaner skates downstairs in the village hall. It's like have a skate, leave a skate, need a skate, take a skate. Just come on by and borrow them because everybody should be out enjoying the rink. And as always, check out the Tivoli Free Library. There's a ton of great stuff going on. And in fact, we're going to be partnering with the library on February 16th for just a community potluck supper like we used to do in the days before the pandemic up on the 3rd floor. So that'll be February 16th. Mark your calendar. come on out and eat stuff with your neighbors. That's all I got.
Sorry, say that date again?
February 16th, it's a Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time?
No, I think 5 o'clock.
What?
Just an early Sunday dinner.
Excellent, nice.
Make your favorite crock pot recipe.
Okay, Chief, thanks for joining us tonight. We are going to be, don't have a date yet exactly, but I think given with how much is happening with the fire department, it's a good time for us to hold a public forum early in February, get everyone in to hear the status of the project, and also there are, some people who haven't been following it as closely. Good evening, Susan, how are you? Who haven't been following it that closely, who may need to be reminded of the importance of this project, who may have questions about how we're financing it, its implications for taxes and the benefits of the service it's going to create for our volunteers. So please look for that in February. We don't want anyone to not understand what's being proposed, and hopefully everyone will be understanding the need for this project. We've been stating it for many years, Chief, but we always have to remember people are busy and they're living their lives, and maybe they are not as in this as you and I have been, and so we're happy to have a meeting to remind them and to inform them. We have some new people in the village, and so it's very important that they be brought into what has been an ongoing community conversation. Better late to the party than never. So we will get an announcement out about a date on that very shortly. So Chief, if you have anything you'd like to say, and we have Susan has joined us. If you have any, we're in public comment portion of the evening, so yeah.
I don't really have any. I definitely want to get the community forum going. We've made a tremendous amount of progress with the money we've raised. The amount of work that this fire company has done and continues to do, and the service it provides for not just Tivoli but the surrounding communities. This is an essential project that needs to get done. So we are a very good portion of the way there, but we do need to have a discussion with the village, and then have a discussion on borrowing the remaining amount of money that we might need to get this project finalized.
Right.
We've been at it pretty much since the fire in 2019. We've managed over there, but we've far outgrown that building years ago. It really got set into reality in 2019, and that department has more than doubled in size and doubled in calls over the past 5 years. Not just for equipment, but manpower, safety. The village has had many disasters where we've needed to use that as emergency shelter. It's a community building, and there is just we have all far outgrown it. So we definitely need to make some changes there sooner than later.
Certainly.
So.
And some of the high points are there aren't even showers in there.
There's no showers.
Have members there's no bunk room.
Well, the big thing is there is no showers. There's no real place to put the community, to have community events. There's no emergency shelter to put anybody if we need it. We've in the past housed people from Provost Park who are on oxygen. We've provided meals for the village outside of that firehouse. So, showers. We have a lot of major incidents where we need to decontaminate. Both on EMS and fire. It's a really big problem right now with volunteer firefighters who are doing this job for free, and they're bringing cancer contaminants home to their families. So it's my 30th year. I can't tell you the number of times I've gone home and smelled like smoke, from being out all night. And we pay for a cancer thing in this village.
Yeah.
So you obviously know the importance of it. And it's not just that, it's EMS as well, who deal with some very bad situations, and they need to come back and be able to decontaminate as well.
Yep.
And that firehouse is just not designed for that.
No.
The trucks barely fit in there.
Yeah.
There's no room for equipment. There's no room for, gear. So people are putting gear in their personal vehicles, driving home. It's a major, major problem. So
Yeah.
it needs to get addressed sooner than later. We've worked really, really hard. The community has worked really hard. We've gotten that out there. We've raised a ton of money, so we just need that little bit of extra to finish.
Yeah, and I think, it's just very easy for those of us who don't serve in the way that you do to remain ignorant about what you do and all your membership, and it's important that we all be reminded of how much we get from the volunteers, and of course to compare such an arrangement to a paid fire department for a community like this, I mean, that's the end of Tivoli.
Correct.
So, this project is going to be, have real financial impacts. It's still going to be a good bargain for the people at Tivoli and the surrounding area.
It'll also bring in additional membership. And again, it's the village of Tivoli and the surrounding areas of village of Tivoli are very lucky to have a department like Tivoli currently. They are no joke. They're out fast. They train every single Monday night. There are people at that firehouse almost every single night training, prepping apparatus, making sure all the equipment runs. I mean, it's the new year. We've run to multiple structure fires already. We've run at least a call every single day since then. So last year we ran multiple structure fires and have amazing turnout. Fill trucks every single time. Trucks get off the floor. Ambulances get off the floor. There's not very many communities that can say that anymore. So take pride in that department. Understand what that department has grown to, and we definitely need to let the rest of the village know, but it's an important project that should get done.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you being here tonight.
No
For
problem.
everything you do, and I know you got a lot of places you'd rather be right now,
A lot of
but
places.
I think you probably want to stick around to hear what Susan and Roddy might have to say, so I'd like to
I
recognize.
reiterate that I joined the board in 2007, and I remember in the first 10 years I was here, there were 14 casualties in Tivoli, 4 of them on the river. They were horrific events, and it was our fire company who had the grim job of identifying those, of resolving the situation. And you don't usually think of the fire department as doing things other than fires, but I was very impressed with that. I was also impressed, we had a rain event, I think it was in June, and we got 10 inches in a day. And this company got their junior firefighters out, and they took the truck around and pumped out basements. And that was not something I was prepared to see, that the fire department would go and, we live on clay, and water gets into basements, and you have to get it out of there, and some pumps are sometimes not enough, and that's what the fire company was doing. So they certainly are a fire company, but my neighbor fell off her porch the other day, and it was the Tivoli Fire Company who delivered her to Northern Dutchess Hospital. And that service was free to her, whereas if it had been another ambulance service, it would have cost her $1,000. And they are as well trained, if not better, than most other people. So when you think of this fire company, you have to think of all of those services that they do. Do you remember the ice storm we had that cut off the electricity at the sewer plant, and we had a sewer
Like a holding tank, right?
tank
Processing tank.
come clear out of the ground because the way the sewer moves the sludge around, this one didn't have any in it, so it had no weight. And the ice storm interfered with some of the pumping. It was a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Fire company was the one that pumped that out and got the sewer tank back in the ground. So these guys are an all-utility
That's the truth.
company. And they can figure things out. And it's really it's really a remarkable service. And when I was first on the board, we bought a truck. I think it was $225,000. That was bought by a bond that we paid over time. Now we need a place to put that truck. So that's really part of what you're looking forward to. And I know that when we started this project, not so long ago, it looked like it was going to be half the cost that it's ended up being. And, you know, sometimes those things just hit us. So let's keep our foot on the gas on this one and do as much of it as we can, recognizing that it's a lot of money for our village people to have to support. And maybe we can get some neighboring communities to kick in a little more, because we do serve.
Yeah.
We serve Germantown, we serve Clinton, we serve.
Yeah, I mean, they support their own fire department as well.
Yeah,
Our budget is the lowest out of everyone's.
And
We
you've
have
got
the
more
most amount of people. We have the smallest firehouse at any neighboring department around. And we do probably more than most. So they support us as well. They're good departments. But when you call us, I mean, there's 50 to 60 active members over there currently, 25 interior members. If your house is on fire, you have 25 interior people that can go in there and save your family.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of interior members for a small department. So keep that in mind. And when you're calling that fire department, you get 50 or 60 people, 20, 30 people there, but they come from a wide array of backgrounds, from electricians to plumbers to, different type of teachers, fire alarm technicians, I mean, EMTs, I mean, amazing group of people. So when you call 911 and you have an issue, whether it be, a flooded basement or an air handler burns up or, furnace malfunction, CO in your house, you have expertise from a wide array of department members. And it's great morale over there, great department. They've been very, very excited about this building. The village has, as much as we didn't want, the fire was a nightmare. We had an ambulance that was failing. We had a fire truck that was failing. The firehouse burned down. Insurance paid for all of that. So you have a brand new fire truck, a brand new ambulance, a rescue. We were able to use money that we had spent in our budget, and we were, fickle with the amount that we had spent, knowing that we'd need that. So currently, I don't really know what's left even on that one fire truck, but you don't really have any other payments besides our budget on that.
Yeah.
On that little bit of a truck, which is coming due.
Yeah, the Scott packs and the stretcher, that might
Everything's
be 2
grant.
years.
Right.
almost done.
We've got a little bit on the Scott packs and the additional Scott packs, which we're still 10 Scott packs short from the amount that we need for the amount of interior members. But we write a lot of AFG grants. The federal funding grants. That's how we get our gear. Otherwise, you guys the village would have to buy 40 to 50 sets of structural gear at $3,000 a set to $5,000 a set. Scott packs are $10,000 a piece. So writing all of these grants, there's a grant currently out for radios. Our radios are antiquated. They don't even keep up with the newer technology, and that's $150,000 in radios. So if we get that saves more money to the village. So we work really, really hard on grant funding and what we can get, so it doesn't cost the village money. We're not coming to you for more stuff, but just to understand that every other department's coming to their villages and their towns, and budgets are increasing by hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. And we work really, really hard to keep that number down. It's not easy with that amount of people and the amount of calls that we run, but like I said, this is a necessity for that department.
I understand that, I do. So we will try and make the whole village understand that, we gotta check in, it's been a while, and we'll, help people really understand what they're getting from your department and why we need the building and anything else they wanna know about. Maybe a couple more members will join,
Yeah, I mean, we have had phenomenal support from the village over these past few years that we've raised money. And I'd say 90% of them have already donated to this campaign.
Mhm.
I mean, we've been at every event, we've had flyers and shirts, and so, yeah, for the remainder, I'd be more than happy to answer questions anytime. I'm at that firehouse every single Monday night, along with 20 other department members, so.
Great.
I'm more than happy to answer any questions anybody has walking through that building to understand what we deal with every single day, so.
I think it's really important, right? People need to know what they're gonna, what they're getting into, what they're paying for, and to think about what kind of value they're looking at, for sure. So, well, thanks for being here, Chief, and everything you do, and I know you've got a family that you probably spent some time with today. So,
We'll get there.
God bless you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public comment or comments from the board? Okay, well, with that, thank you for being here, Susan, definitely. Is there a motion to adjourn? And a second?
Second.
Let's see, second was Baldino. Motion was Mangieri?
Yes.
Bonnie, you got that? Okay. All in favor? Aye. 7:38, we're adjourned. Thanks, folks.